Hello and welcome. What we're going to cover in this video is how do the benefits pay for what we quote an uninsurable type person. Now, remember we'll have to go out to the website, print off facts and stats. We're also going to go out to the website for the forms heading. You're going to print off a benefit payout for the uninsurable. What we're going to do is give you an example of two different payouts, a $6,000 accident and a $250,000 critical illness. But I broke out on the sheet 3 different accidents and 3 different health events, and then also print out the definition of benefits for the uninsurable, just so you know what they do and don't pay and so on. It's a breakdown of it. And remember again, on your health visits, any visit to a medical facility, doctor, hospital, whatever, it's all going to be either an accident or health event. Accidents are going to be either major or minor. Health events are going to be major or minor. 50% will be accidents, 50% will be health events. Typically, when they're below the age of 45, remember our cost scale, they're going to be minor maintenance type stuff and accidents. When we get out above age 45, that's when we're more susceptible to the major health events. Okay. Now the plans that we break out are what we call plan X, Y, and Z. Now how they pay, this is a guaranteed issuable plan, and we package it just like our other stuff with some other stuff, some guaranteed issue stuff. And the plans pay like this. You can get it to pay, Plan X, 60% of what the CPT allowable cost is. Remember, Medicare has codes associated with it. All the codes are called CPT codes, and they give you a cost structure for everything, every medical event. Okay, this plan will pay either 60% of the allowable cost through Medicare. It's not Medicare, but it pays like Medicare because it pays on a code. Or it will pay 80% of the CPT code, or it will pay 100% of the CPT allowable code cost. Now, typically your doctors and medical facilities are going to charge 15 to 20% above these costs. Well, when we say 100%, it's going to be 100% above the 100% allowable cost. Thus, you see in the senior market, you see a lot of people carry what we call Medicare subs. They're carrying a 20% buffer above the allowable cost that Medicare is paying. Okay, so if I say I'm getting 100% of CPT code, I'm still probably going to be short 20%, 15 to 20%, which is negotiable. And I also want you to know on these plans there are no deductibles. They start paying immediately once there is an event. Okay, so you're paying on the back end versus the front end, like you would pay for your major medicals or hospital surgicals and all the other type plans. Now let's look at how they pay. What I'm going to do is break out a $250,000, and remember again, when you look at your overall cost, you have to factor in the cost of my yearly premiums. Okay, so our first line is our yearly premiums. Plan X, $2,400, Plan Y, $3,300, Plan Z, $4,200 for the year, and that is factoring all the different parts and pieces that we're going to actually list. Okay, it might be a little bit more than that. It might be, you know, 1,000 more. Everything's going to be case specific and age specific when you start adding some of these other benefits. But that's going to be kind of our base number. Now, we're going to have what we call limit of benefits. Now, the limit of benefits is taking into consideration what I'm short on these, plus the 15 or 20% that this doesn't pick up, that the doctor charges above what Medicare allows, okay, or the coding allows, not Medicare. So, on a $6,000 accident, just so you follow with me, $3,600, a $6,000 accident on a Plan X, it's going to pay 60% of $6,000, okay? 60% of that's $3,600. Well, I've still got 40% to get to 100% of my CPT coding, but I've got another 15 to 20% that the doctor is above that allowable cost. So I've really got 40% to get to 100, and I got another 20% that the doctor's going to charge above and beyond that. So I've got 60% of that cost is going to be my responsibility. So I put $3,600, 6,000 times 60% is $3,600. So that works the same in all of these. I look at 6,000, I'm going to be responsible for 40%. On this one I'm going to be responsible for 20% of the 6,000 because of the limit of the benefits. We have an accident cash. minus $5,500. Remember again, this would pay up to $15,000, but our accident is $6,000. We have a $500 deductible, so I'm going to get $5,500 cash back paid to me, and then I use that money to pay after my patient advocacy people work on this. Remember I said our patient advocacy people negotiate 83%. In this example we use 50% that they get negotiated off the part that you're responsible for. 50% of that's $1,800, so I'm going to use that as a negative. All my negative numbers are money back to me, and or it's money that I don't want to say profited, but money that we put in our pocket. Okay, so Plan X, $2,400 yearly premium. We got a $3,600 that we're responsible for because of the accident. We get the cash back, plus the patient advocacy negotiates that in half. I actually put $1,300 in my pocket. Don't sounds crazy. That's how the plan pays. Okay, Plan Y we put 1,000, Plan Z we put 700. Now let's go into the critical illness. Same program, but we're going to have, of the 250, remember we're going to be 60% of that is our responsibility because of the limits of the plan. 150, 150 on X, Y, and Z. We're going to get 100,000, 100,000, 100,000 because of our critical illness. I should say critical illness right there. We get that in cash paid to us. We use that money to pay our bills, and we use it to start paying some of the medical expenses associated with that after our patient advocacy people get done with it. Okay, we always use the patient advocacy people first instead of paying the bill, because you can't pay your bill and then say, patient advocacy, could you go get them to refund some of my money? It won't happen. Okay, it's gone. You have to be in a position of power. That's why we use the patient advocacy first and let them negotiate the bill, and then we pay the bill. Okay, so on that plan you'd be minus 22,000, which you would actually put 22,000 in your pocket, 46,700 in your pocket, or 70,800 in your pocket. Okay, that's how the plans pay. It's a very simple, neat program. In my opinion, I wish all of the plans would do this. It would be very simple to understand, and maybe it will move that way in the future, but that's just my personal opinion. We'll catch you on the next video.